And then I think to be six star, I think you've got to have the ability to connect with people because you are going to 100% need them. And then you're going to have grit. You are going to have that bit between your teeth that's like, no matter what happens, I'm going to do this.
Hello, and you're with Aveline Clark on the Six Star Business Podcast, where we have conversations about what it takes to be six star as a six-star leader in a six-star business in a six-star world. And in today's episode, I met with Ryan Carruthers from the UK, and what a fun, interesting, smart, successful, and just curious guy he is. His stories are amazing. They really show how he lives life without the barriers of fear. You know, the way he approaches problems, there's always a solution. And he gives so much wisdom in this conversation. Literally, hands down, one of the most jam-packed conversations I've had in terms of nuggets of takeaway actionable items that you can take into your business, learn from it, grow from it, and benefit from it straight away. This one is not to be missed. It's awesome. Enjoy this one with Ryan Carruthers. Okay, here we are. Welcome. It's another episode of Six Star Business Podcast. I'm Aveline Clark, and I'm here with my co-host, Indra Hoffman. How are you doing today, Indra?
Terrific. Thanks, Av.
It's great to see you again. And I'm really excited about our guest today. We have Ryan Carruthers. How are you, Ryan?
I am good. I have my coffee, I have my water, and I'm ready to see where we're going to go with this episode. I can't wait to see where you're going to take me.
Well, we like to go in many, many dark, untraveled corridors, indeed. So let's see where we go, hey? To kick this off, how about you tell us a bit about yourself? First of all, where are you in the world? Who do you serve? How do you serve them? And perhaps something you like to do when you're not busy serving people.
Oh, man. Well, let's start with the not serving people, what I like to do. I like to listen to Taylor Swift. A big Taylor Swift fan. I know that's my guilty pleasure. I quite like Taylor Swift on YouTube, dancing in the living room with my daughter. I am Ryan Carruthers, as you said, and I'm based in Lincoln in the United Kingdom. And I sort of serve two sets of people. I have two businesses. And one of them is aimed for the people that use Betfair, so Betfair traders, and that's my most established business. And then I'm actually involved in a startup which helps companies with 40 plus employees for better staff retention and also to make their staff happier. So that's what I do. I get to be happy every single day. I get to play with my daughter. I get to talk about sport, and I get to do marketing, which I love marketing so much. I could talk about it all day and some.
Wow, there's a start, an introduction. Where are we going to go with this, Indra? So many questions. First of all, how old is your daughter?
She is 17 months old.
Oh,
and she is full of life and energy. I now, after probably about 3 months ago, I turned to my wife and I said, I am so sorry. She was like, what are you sorry for? I was like, I now know what it's like to live with me, because she is me in miniature format, and she's exploring her emotions and trying to work out how to get people to do things. And yeah, that is one hell of a ride.
So what did you learn from your daughter? What are the three biggest learnings?
Three biggest learnings from my daughter. Well, number one is I'm absolutely fascinated by how she is so focused on one thing. Now, I think we have a tendency to have so many things going on in our day-to-day and in our lives anyway, that we can get distracted from that. And it's fascinating to see that and how she is so focused on one object and one item. And she gives it everything she's got until she's done with it. And then she moves on to the next one and the next one. So that's one. The second one is probably from an anatomical point of view. I'm a qualified physio. I studied physiotherapy at university, and I've always been obsessed with the way the body moves. And I recently got into the whole barefoot thing with my barefoot shoes. So that's what I wear. And that whole philosophy is that you don't strike with your heel, you strike with your midfoot and you roll over onto your arch. And that's what she does. And what fascinates me is that this is another learning I've had, that her shoes are wide, but now she's getting bigger. The companies are trying to shove her into these tiny little shoes. And I'm like, what's going on? So that's my second one. And my third one is something that I try to live my life to always be curious. That's what I'm always be curious. I try to be curious about people I meet, every situation. And that just reaffirms it for me. The way that she is so curious. She can go to the garden, she can see things, and she's fascinated and she's curious. Oh, what's that? Daddy. And let's go over, and she sees everything. So yeah, they're the sort of three things that I've learned from her. Good question, that one.
Great answers.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about your journey, Ryan. Obviously, you don't look very old. And for those that are listening to the audio, you've got 2 businesses, including a startup. Can you share us a little bit about the journey that's brought you to where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, wow. Shut yourself in, guys, because I've had a bit of a mad life. And I genuinely think I could probably live my life 100 times over and it'd be totally different. So different. So I've always been an entrepreneurial kid. You know, I was the kid buying stuff and selling it. You know, I remember a kid came into school and he wanted to buy a guitar and he was selling all of his PlayStation games to buy this guitar, and he had them on a sheet. So I said to him, I'll buy them all off you, and I negotiated a discount. I didn't have the money to do this. Went home and I was like, Dad, I need some money. He was like, why? And I said, because I've agreed to buy all these PlayStation games, because everybody wanted these. And I knew that he wanted the guitar and he didn't really want to wait for the guitar. So what I did was talk to my dad, and he said, yes, I'll give you the money, but you've got to come and work with me and work it off. I'm like, Dad, I'm already working with you. Because at the age of 13, he woke me up on a Saturday morning to go and clean windows with him, because that was his business, because I was, in his words, tall enough to reach the top of the windows. So I got dragged out of bed, which is the best thing that ever happened to me, because I look at, my dad's my hero. I look at him and the work ethic he has is outstanding. So he gave me money and I worked my debt off. But what that taught me was a little bit of supply and demand. I then controlled the supply and the demand was already there. And I didn't really realize this. I was just like, well, I can make more than he can because I'll buy them all off him and I'll get my dad to give me the money. So I did that. And then I went through life and got to university. I went to university a little bit later. Strangely enough, I went to Lincoln University and left. I left a business degree. And then, yeah, we fast forward to where I am now at 34, and I've owned multiple businesses, invested in businesses. It's been pretty crazy. And I studied physiotherapy. And again, at university, I remember it very well. We went to university the first day and we were in halls of residence. And, you know, I went in all excited. I came back and my housemates, I was still excited, by the way, but my housemates, oh, how many hours a week have you got in? One of them had 10, one had 12, and I had like 38 to 40 hours a week. And I was like, what? They were getting part-time jobs to pay for things and various different bits and bobs. Now, I was trading on Betfair as well, so I was making money trading. But I also started to sell makeup because, and this is something that looking back, I can actually see about myself. I'm quite analytical, and I knew that there was more women at my university than there was men. I knew that a lot of them, from hearing them, had moved from different cities, and we didn't, in Sheffield at the time, we didn't have the store that sold the makeup. And they were saying to each other, where are you getting it from? And various bits and bobs like that. So I picked up on that. And I also knew that I didn't have a problem talking to women. So I put all of those together and I rang the company up and emailed them and emailed them and emailed them. And I made an order of £1,000, which again, I borrowed off my dad on the Tuesday. And I'd sold it by the Thursday. I'd pre-sold it. It was all gone. and it was amazing. So then I just carried on. And then in my third year, my dad got ill, and I went and ran the family business, the window cleaner business. And I turned it into a bit of a monster. I remember he had whiteboards in his office, and there was like 2 or 3, and I'd covered the room in whiteboards, and all of the people on there were customers. And I just started filling them in, and we just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's totally fine now, and he's back to full health. But he literally walked in, and I won't say what he said to me because, it wasn't very good. But he was like, "What have you done?" And he sold half of the company that afternoon, and kept me on. And then I had the bug for it. I had the taste for business. I had the taste for being my own boss. And what I did was I built BetGreen, which was a company which helped Betfair traders. It helped them get better at trading. It gave them my information and shared that with them. And then I have a very obsessive personality. So when I get into something, I get into it. So it's like, how can I get more people in BetGreen? So I had to learn about copywriting. I had to learn about making good offers. I had to learn about all of the things that you do online to get people to you. And then from that, I built property development business, and I have recently sold that. And then I built Betfair Trading Community, which to normal people, they take their existing business and then they merge it into the new direction. Me, I was just like, I get a little bit bored of BetGreen. I would like a trader's haven, was what I thought. There's nowhere for me to talk to other traders about Betfair. Everybody just frowned at me and thought I was a gambler, which it totally isn't. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to build it. So I bought the domain name Betfair Trading Community, which is probably the 3rd best thing I've done in my life, after my wife and my daughter, or maybe 4th after watching Liverpool in Champions League. But I bought that domain name, and then I built that business up to where it is today. And alongside that, I've invested in other businesses. And then a friend of mine came to me and said, I've got this idea for this software to make people happier at work. And I think he knew what he was doing with me. He planted this little seed in my head and then let me go away. And then I was in the shower, and I came straight out the shower, took my towel on, grabbed my phone, and was like, I know how to build that business. I know how to scale that business. I've worked it out in the shower. I've got it. The cogs have been turning in the back of my mind. So that's my life story in a nutshell, taking me up to where I am now at 34.
That's cool. Very cool. I have got an image in my mind of the whiteboards in your dad's office. So was that just a case of you just selling more window cleaning, basically, getting on the phone and getting out there and talking to people?
Yeah. And my dad was always really, really good to his staff. He really, really looked after them. And that's something that I learned from them. And he used to be a builder. And whenever he needed the reason he quit building was he was always working. He never got to see us. And also it was like feast or famine. He was on a big contract for 12 weeks and then nothing for 4 weeks. He didn't want that. So whenever he needed staff, he went to the building game, his friends, and said, look, are you sick of working there? I can give you better hours. You'll start early and you'll finish early. So that was a challenge at sort of 21, 22. You go in and there's 11 builders who are all rough and ready, and they're loyal to my dad, and now they're listening to me. But they were cool with it. But I asked them first and foremost, does anyone want any more work? Have you got birthdays coming up, you'd like some overtime? Yes. Made a note of that. And then I started to ask our customers, is there anything else you want doing? Because you're always asking us for recommendations for like fascias and soffit cleaning. Now, we've already got all of the equipment to do that. We just don't offer that. And now I've got 5 people that say that they're quite happily to work longer. So it's like, all right, cool. Okay, it's there. And then a lot of our customers as well had businesses, and they had business premises. And it was just like, okay, well, you trust us to do your windows. Why don't we do your office windows, your takeaway windows? And there's a shopping centre in Lincoln called the Forum in Highcombe, and there's about 40 shops on it in sort of a near enough a rectangle. I remember saying to my dad, I'm going to get all of them. And he was like, nah, no way, mate. I'm like, what? Well, you just said the wrong thing to me. And an old business partner of mine said, you have an ability to get where water wouldn't get. And I can just make connections with people. And that's what I did. I just kept showing up. And I do things like I would offer to clean the door of the shop, nothing else, for free, just to show them how good I am. Because then it's like, it's just wrong. Oh my God, there you go. Just, you cannot miss that then. And I also did other things I had leaflets printed that said, have you seen number, and then there's a big oval, and then beneath that said windows. They were cleaned by us today. If you want your windows to look as good as theirs, call this number. And then all we would do is, if I did this house here, number 5, whatever, then left and right of that house would get a leaflet. So then that would be number 3 and number 7, and they'd write that in the gap. So straight away it catches their attention. We'd do the 3 houses opposite as well. Now, it's like keeping up with the Joneses. In suburbia, everybody wants to keep up with everybody else. Wow, their windows do look good, don't they? Yeah, they do. So now we got more calls, and then we started to dominate areas, and then we covered vans and just those kind of things. And yeah, it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
What did you enjoy the most about it?
Oh, that's such a good question, because it's so, I mean, yeah, I kind of split between the challenge of actually building this business. Like, the pressure didn't bother me that it was my dad's business. That wasn't a problem. The challenge of actually, wow, I can run with this. And the people, one of the things that I have learned over my life is I need to be surrounded by people. I have to work with people. And I am quite happy to give up equity to do that. I work best with people. You put me around people that have different skills to me, we're going to absolutely rock it.
Wow. How did you get through the pandemic, Ryan? I mean, I don't know how bad it was. How was it for you?
So the first thing that really hit me was, oh my God, I am not going to be able to see people. And it's totally different in the Zoom format or on the phone for me. You know, you can't pick up on those nuances. But I actually, I came out of the pandemic with another business. So yeah, my wife's chartered accountant, and her practice was old school, like pen and paper still. And she was brought back into her practice to take them into making tax digital and all of the things that come with that. So she was going in and out of the office. So that was great. So I had time at home, and I still had Betfair Trading Community, and all the sport had stopped. And we need sport for that business to make money. And we were about to launch a course as well to teach people how to do it. And so I pulled the team together, and I was like, firstly, there's no better people that I would rather be in this with than you guys. I think whatever happens, we're going to find a solution to this. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to launch this course. So we gave the course free to the members because they were paying their monthly subscription. And they said, look, we're going to carry on paying. You've given us this course. We're going to work through the course. And then we sold the course to the email list. And it was amazing because the results that they got from that were so good. We had people saying that they were all on furlough here in the UK. So they were getting paid and they weren't working and they were bored. But because there was no distraction of sport being on, they couldn't jump into things. They couldn't jump into trading. They had to actually take the time to learn it, which was phenomenal. So they actually got better at trading, which was great for me. And then I saw people sharing stuff about memberships online. And I was like, well, I'm at home. I've got loads of time on my hand. And what you're sharing is rubbish and does not work. What are you doing? How are you selling that to these people? So I just built a Facebook page and I just hit live one day and I just went for it on a topic, and it got 4,500 views organically. And I was like, oh, wow, this is like serious. And then I was like, this is a great idea. Let's go with it. And then the rest of the videos did not get anywhere near that. And I ended up bringing people in who had memberships, and then they came to a mastermind with me, and I just helped them with their membership. What are you struggling with? What was your win for the last week? What's your challenge? And what's the one thing you need to focus on? So I built that business during lockdown, and I still do one call a week with that business because I absolutely love the people in it.
That's really cool. Really cool. It's like you've got this variety of, I guess, niches or, areas, but the commonality in everything is you're helping people and it's solving their problems.
That is literally it. You solve their problem, you help them move past that pain or towards more pleasure, or you increase their status. People want to increase their status. It's just a human need. Once you've got your shelter sorted, your food sorted, you want community, you want to increase your status. It's what is just so innate about us. People want to make more money, or they want to save money, or they want to increase their status. That's what we want to do as human beings.
When you started your first kind of, I would say, side hustle, selling makeup, did you have a role model or any kind of, were you operating from a sense of just intuitive knowing, or was there some other person or something that you drew upon to do that?
Do you know how I can tell that that's a good question? Because I don't immediately know the answer. My brain works very, very quickly. Wow, that's a good question. So I've always been fascinated by the world of business, and I've always been fascinated by businessmen and women. And my parents always used to joke that money was my God, and it's not. It's the challenge for me. It's not money at all. I'm not bothered about that. It's the challenge and the enjoyment of that. So I always had people that I then looked up to in the business world. But I'm just a serial talker. So I talk to people on the street. I talk to people everywhere, and I talk to everybody the same. And because of that, I've had some very, very fortunate encounters with people who have liked me, who have been a lot further on in business and life than I am. So I've always had people around me, and I've never been scared to ask for help. So whenever I was struggling, I'd pick up the phone and I'd just say, "Can you help me? I've got this problem." And I would listen to what they said and how they've built their business, because even if it's a totally different niche, you hit the nail on the head. There's similarities between every single business. You all have hiring problems. We all have stock problems. We all have marketing problems. We always have logistics problems. They're all the same problems. And, we've taken examples from loads of different places and put them into the online world. So if we look at the fish market, for example, or any market, used to go down to the market and they'd go, "Do you want to test this?" And you test that, like it, then probably buy that. Well, that's the exact same of giving your email address to get the ebook or something like that. So I've always had, to answer your question, I've always had people around me that I looked up to, and I always spent time to find the answer. And I've always been very good at going, do I know the answer to this problem? No. Do I know somebody who does? Yes. Well, let's ring them and get them to sort it, or pay them to sort it. Or do they know somebody who can solve this for me? And I think that has helped me massively, but it was hard to find people that had scaled a makeup business. And mine was just literally, I'm liking the challenge of this. Let's try and make some money from it. And,
You're giving away all of the goodies of how to run a successful business. Having fun. This is where you start from, right? I've been taking mental notes. Then have amazing people around you who you could kind of turn to when you need help. Then see the demand or the opportunity. So what is driving you? Is you mentioned in the beginning that you love marketing. Is that the key to all of this?
The key to all of this, is that I love marketing and I love the challenge of it, but I love the freedom and the happiness that I have. I have the best life ever. And like I said earlier, I could live this 100 times and not do the same. I took 6 weeks off when my daughter was born, no emails, no work, no nothing. My team handled everything for me. And that built a bond that is so strong with her, even when she's been an absolute little terror, like she was this morning. And I take every Tuesday off to spend with her. I don't work on the evenings, my phone is off. I don't work on the weekends, my phone is off. I just have such a good balance that I can properly throw myself into what I do. And I know that I'm doing that so that I can pay for the things that I can do with my daughter. I bought her I was looking at buying her some stuff for the garden. I went a bit mental and I've bought her this huge tree house that's got like a pulley system on it. It's got a massive slide. And I didn't have to, I'm very, very fortunate. I didn't have to make any sacrifices to buy that. And that is the experiences that drive me. I want to go and travel more, and I want to spend time with family and take family places and take my wife places. That drives me 50%. And then the other 50% is it is just a game. And I am obsessed with it. I am obsessed with that, of getting to the next level and then the next level and the next level and going through the next level and then leveling up me and learning and getting better, because it fascinates me. What fascinates me is the person that I was 5 years ago, and then the person I was 10 years ago, and then the person I was 15 years ago. And I think the 15-year-old version of me and me would not get on, and the 18-year-old wouldn't get on with me right now. But then that fascinates me to go, where am I going to be in 5 years? I don't know. And I'm not worried about where I'll be. I just cannot wait to see what happens along that journey to get to the next sort of 40-year-old Ryan.
I hope your wife likes variety, or, because it sounds to me like you live a very, exciting life with lots of different things in it. And given that you're talking about the changes that you're making, I'm thinking, wow, in 5 years' time, you'd be a different person. You know what I mean? And
do you know what? She anchors me. I would not be anywhere near as successful as I am without that lady in my life. She is an absolute diamond, and she anchors me. She always brings me back to who I am. And actually, the person that I am, she allowed me to be that. Go and chase what you want to chase. And she actually brought this personality out of me more than it was. Mm-hmm. So she knows who I am, and she loves that. And she knows that, I'm off work when I'm off work. When we go on holiday, no laptop, no phone, no nothing. I don't even think about it. I'm with her 100%. And she knows that. She just sees it as business. She's just she's not surprised when I come back and I'm like, oh my God, this is happening now. She's not surprised at all. She's like, I've got you. I believe in you. Crack on. I know you'll do what you say you're going to do. And yeah, the only thing she struggles with is the names of the people, because I talk to her like she's in my head. So I'm like, oh, so Phil is doing this. And she's like, okay, is that like marketing Phil? Or is that like property Phil? Or is that like lawyer Phil? She's like, okay, so now it's like almost a code or something. So I was talking to lawyer Phil the other day, and she's like, right, I know what that relates to. Right. Because I heard this on a podcast, and this changed my life. And the line was, don't expect everybody to see the world the way you do. And that blew my mind, because I instantly went to, okay. Like all of the things that I got frustrated about were just, why are you frustrated? So my wife, when she buys greeting cards, it used to drive me insane, because we'd go into the shop and it's like, she's dad's birthday, and her dad's birthday and her brother's birthday is very close to my dad's birthday. Go into the shop, happy birthday, Dad, Star Wars. He likes Star Wars. Yeah, cool. Boom. here we go, done. And I'd look around and she'd be picking out the card, she'd be looking at the envelope and then reading all of the words. And I'm just like, pick a card. What are you doing? But then when I heard that, it's like, oh, you don't put emphasis on buying cards, right? She does. She's thinking about how that person is going to feel when they get the card, the feel of the envelope, how they're going to open that up, the quality of the card, how the words make that person feel. She's feeling their emotions. And I'm like, and then this is another tip for every single person in business. Observe that. Observe what happens around you. Observe what you do. Observe how you buy, because it leaves so many clues. And then when that happens, that will spark you to go and speak to your customers to observe how they buy. You know, how did you find out about us? Was a great question years ago, but now you need to switch it. You need to get deeper. What was you doing when you realized you needed to make a change? Can you describe the exact moment to me? Yeah, well, I was searching Google. Oh, right, great. So you know that your target market search Google. So look at SEO. Oh, and then I came across your website. Okay, what did you do? I read a blog. Okay, which one? Oh, and then I gave you my email address. Okay, great. Or then I went straight to sign. Okay. Or then what I did was then I Googled Ryan Caruthers reviews or whatever it is. Okay, so maybe I should compile a page on my website with all the reviews about my company. It just gives you so much gold. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent there.
Ah, but a good one. How important is it for someone to be not only successful, but in a state of flow in their business life? How important is it for them to have that supportive life partner, like you've described your wife as being?
Oh, huge. Couldn't do it without her. I could not do it without her. And I think it's so supportive. You spend so much of your time with your partner. If you don't have a supportive partner, it must be so hard, because there's so many challenges that you're going to go through as a business owner, or even working in a partnership with a business, with somebody in business. And to have that come home, you know they've got your back. I have always had a lot of drive, but that honestly was like getting in a Bugatti Veyron and putting the foot to the floor. We could go at any speed, knowing that no matter what, she supports me. That is critical to my success. It really, really is.
And Ryan, I'm just wondering, I hear from you tremendous growth, probably in the last 15, 20 years. How did you do this? Did you have mentors? Did you have coaches? Because it must be a very parabolic growth. Other than your wife, how did you go?
People. I have always been able to meet people. So yeah, I've had mentors. I've had business partners as well. I've also partnered with people who were 2 or 3 steps ahead of me that were, so in my property development business, my business partner was one of the, there's 3 people in my life that have made a massive, massive impact. My wife, a friend that now one of my very, very good friends called Steve, who was a mentor to me, and also my business partner, and he was called Kim, and he was in his early 50s when I met him, and I had an offer to sell my business at 24, and I thought, wow, I'm buying a Range Rover. That's what I'm going to do. And I didn't. I offered on a house in Lincoln instead, and the house was on the market for 100,000, and I said, I'll give you 70. That's what I sell my business for. And then I just got out there, and that's my brain. It's like, okay, I have to know everything about this subject. I have to know it. So where do people go who are interested in property? What websites do they visit? What forums are they on? And I start commenting, I start asking questions. I'm obsessive and I'm relentless with it. And then if I connect with someone and you start talking to me and we get on, you've had it, because you're probably my best friend for life now. And then he came over to Lincoln, and it was just like straight away, he was like, you are me like 20, 30 years ago. And I see it and I know how to get you where you want to be. And then he kept coming over and having coffees, and he just kept helping me. And he's like, I'm always at the end of the phone. I'm always at the end of the phone. If you need me, if you get stuck, ring me. So I'd ring him. And then one day he goes, well, why don't we just do this together? I'm like, okay. But it was so strange. He came from a martial arts background, which my dad is a 7th Dan, my sister is a 4th Dan. I was a purple belt. In my dad's eyes, no matter what I do in business, I never got my black belt, and I don't think he'll ever forgive me for that. And my sister did. Ooh, great. But my business partner, he was a world Taekwondo champion. He'd built martial arts schools. He'd built a membership. The synergy between our lives was huge. He'd had multiple businesses, and he taught me so much about, okay, you are excitable, Ryan. So we need to rein that in, and taught me how to rein that in. So I never agree anything on the first meeting. I have to wait at least 5 meetings to agree something. If that's, me getting involved in it, he taught me that. And that because I can feel myself in this call getting excited about talking to you two, because I love this. So before it would have been like, oh yeah, should we do a business? Yeah, let's go. Now it's like, whoa, no, what actually is my focus? What is my focus? And then I've just followed that advice so much relentlessly. And then as I've scaled up with people. So I listen to everything that Nick Peterson says. Laurel Portier put me onto him. He's amazing. And he wrote this book called Bumpers. It's like, you got to have bumpers around your life. So your time, bumper your time with your family, bumper this, bumper that. And yeah, he talks about that focus. So I have a notebook here, right here, and I use the bullet journal method, and he taught me to just write down your focus. What is your focus? And I keep it really simple. I have 2 focuses after having fun. BTC, which is my community, and happier. That's it. I don't have anything else, because I know as well, if I dilute that, then it won't. But yeah, to answer your question, to put a bow on that, mentors and people. And you'll be surprised how many people want to give their time, especially successful people. You look at them and think, oh my God, they're so successful. Why would they want to talk to me? They had a leg up. Someone somewhere helped them, and they've never, ever, ever forgotten it. And when you come to them, it smacks them in the face. I give my time to local schools. I do this thing in Lincoln where I give an hour. And I also do a lecture at Lincoln University to the business students. And it hits me when a student asks a question that's really good. And I know that was me at 18. That was me. And I say to them, I will buy you a coffee after this lecture. I will help you because people helped me. And it's that feeling of reciprocity that you just want to give back. I'm getting so excited on this. Sorry, I'm waffling.
Don't apologize. And I don't see it as a waffle. It's you speaking authentically and from your lived experience, which is what is most important to me to hear you say. And I'm sure Indra as well. Tell me about the startup. You mentioned the word happy a few times. Love to know what inspired you to get involved.
Oh man. So going back to the COVID time, I'd built this membership. It didn't really fulfill me. It wasn't that fun for me. It just wasn't. And it was harder to market, and I just didn't get that feeling of flow that we've been talking about. And it was harder, and it wasn't as fun. And then I was helping some of the people in that membership write their emails, because I love writing marketing emails. I just love them. I just love emails. These headphones on, Taylor Swift, boom, off we go. And then I started to do that for other software companies, because there's another lesson there. When you commit to something and you tell people that is what you do, and it's so succinct and so narrow. When I started saying, oh yeah, well, I'm writing emails for software companies, guess what? more software companies reached out to me. And I've got a proven track record. I've sold a lot of memberships with BTC. It's a software company is what it is. So they know I can do it. But I remember very, very clearly, I had a client and their best sales month was $10,000. And they wanted to add on some new features to their software. And to do that, they thought, we're going to sell lifetime subscription and we're going to sell 50,000 of these, $50,000 worth of these. And then that will pay for me to build the extra edition. Okay, cool. So they paid me to do the building of the offer, validating it. I did all of that. And my system was very, very, very simple. And I will give you that right now. All you do is you look through all of the content that people have been engaging with recently, and then you start to build out from that. So if people are engaging with SEO on your website, you teach people how to do SEO as well as emails and SEO is the thing you're going to go with. His thing was they use the software. Okay, great. So you've got a starting point. Then what I did was I reached out to 5 to 10 people on his list, and I just put together a Google Doc. Google Doc was very, very simple. Problem, agitation, solution, and a price point, okay, on a Google Doc. Then I'd send them a form to fill in. It's like, would you buy this? What makes you most want to buy this? If I could add one more thing to this to make you buy it, to make it a no-brainer, what would it be? Any questions that you had while reading this? So as you're going through that, you've got your top customers that haven't got this new thing. They're going to give you honest feedback. They're also going to tell you whether they buy it or not. You have not built this right now. So don't spend time building something that might fail. This guarantees that you're going to do very, very well. So did that, validated it. I also interviewed those people as well because I quite like to do that. I still do that for BTC now. 5 people every month at random on my email list get a phone call from me totally out of the blue. No sales pitch. I just want to talk to you 15 minutes and I will help you become a better trader. So, and I promise you, I will get to why I started Happier. And then you do that. So then from there, those interviews and that Google Doc, you have a business. You've got an offer that is going to work. So I wrote 7 emails based on what they told me, using my copywriting skills as well, my expertise. Sold $7,000 off one email and we smashed through the 50 target. And I got an email. I was buzzing. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I got an email back. He said, wasn't very monumental, was it, Ryan? And I was like, oh, mate, I'm done. I was like, whoa, I am out. And so since I left property as well, that runs alongside this with my business partner, I have been looking for the next version of that. And now I can break that down. I've been looking for the next person to work with. I've been looking for the next business that I can bring my skills to, that I can have fun with. And then I went for a beer with my friend and he was telling me that he'd built this software and it was already built. Now, I come from the world of building software that usually takes a while to build. It's built, it's working, we're off, we're running. All right, okay. Oh, I've sent a few emails out cold to people. And he made every mistake sending cold emails that you can make. 5 of the 10 emails got through to people. 5 of those people signed up to the wait list. I was like, oh, wow. So they've read your copy. They've signed up to the email list. There's something in this. And he was like, yeah, I've just come off the back of a startup that didn't go very well as well. And I realized that I need marketing. I need someone like yourself. He just planted that seed. And then I went away, thought about it a while, came back, made another chat, came back, made another chat. And at the core of it, there's 2 things that really, really made me want to get involved in this. Number 1, I am happy every single day of my life if I can do something with my skill set that helps other people be happy in jobs that they might not be happy in, then I have to do that. Because why should I get to be happy every day when I can help people be happy? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is I love spending time with that lad. We go to the Peak District, we go on hikes together. Our brains work so well together. And he has everything I don't have. I have everything he doesn't have. He wants to be, great book as well, Traction by Gino Wickman. That book changed my life because I am not an integrator. Adam in BTC is my integrator. He lets me go off and do all the fun things and the blue sky thinking that I do. And then it pulls me back in. He builds the systems that run that. That's exactly what Oliver wants to do at Happier. It's like, okay, this is going to work. And then I get on the phone to people. We start signing linking companies up straight away. So yeah, let's put a bow on it. Hopefully I've given you loads of value there as well with that answer, so people can actually take it and run with it.
Very powerful, Ryan. Tell us about, how do you see 6-star in yourself? And how do you bring that into your businesses?
Oh, man. Again, that's another question that's got me thinking. So for me, 6-star is not just about success. It's about everything else that you do around that, because success on its own can be quite empty. So I could successfully build an email agency because I can write emails. I can bring someone in to manage the team and all of that. But it's not a 6-star business. It doesn't have the elements that make up a 6-star business, which is, for me, is that purpose, that goal. That's not just monetary. That is actually, are we making a difference? Are we changing people's lives? So that's the first sort of element of it. And then for me is the fun in this business? Because then that checks another box, and that's going to make it easier to go through those harder times. So you've got this goal, this passion, and you're having fun every day, so it doesn't feel like it's difficult. And then I think to be 6-star, I think you've got to have the ability to connect with people, because you are going to 100% need them. And then you're going to have grit. You are going to have that bit between your teeth that's like, no matter what happens, I'm going to do this. You are not going to stop me. I am going to push through, and I'm going to make this a success. And I think all of those things combined for me make a 6-star business. And then, of course, off that, the people is your partner. You've also then got your business partners, the team that you build. You've got your mentors. So that's what you need to do. And there's a great quote that Gary Neville, and I hated Gary Neville. I'm a Liverpool fan, and Gary Neville played for Man United, but as a pundit, I love him. And I think he probably summed this up so much better as well with the people. He says, I was never the best footballer. I was never that good, but what I had was grit. And I was also surrounded by Roy Keane, David Beckham, Alex Ferguson. They inspired and instilled in me characteristics that they had that I didn't have. So that's that star of that people for me. He had a boss and a mentor who looked after him, who gave him what he didn't have. He had teammates that lifted him up when he was down, that helped him. They had fun. And it pains me to admit it, because I hate Man United with every fibre of my being. But that is one of the best examples of a 6-star entity that you can take all of those examples from and put into your own business. So that's what it is for me. It's fun, it's grit, it's people, and it's having that common goal and that common cause and that passion to go after it.
Ryan, I love that. Question. Does a 6-star business need to focus on their competitors, or do they need to focus on their own unique value and what they bring to the world?
Oh, 100% your own value. Forget about your competitors. Just forget about them. Just focus on your value and let's go with that. Because and there's so many examples of that. I mean, if people focused on the competitors, there'd be no Apple. Look at them. They're huge. Their value was to make things simpler. That's all they wanted to do. That was their value. They focused on that. And then look what happened. Now their competitors are rushing to keep up with them. So focus on yourself. If you're focusing on the competitors, you're always going to be chasing. You're always going to be chasing what they're doing. You're always going to be making moves based on what they're doing. So you're not going to get the market right. You're not going to make the moves right, because the chances are they're further ahead of you. They've got more money. They've got better market research than you. So yes, look at what they're doing. Look at the words, look at the language in which they use. Sign up to their email addresses on another email address and read the emails they send. Look at the campaigns they send. Look at when they send them. Look at the language that they use. Take that, put your own spin on it, and run with it, unique to your value and your unique proposition and how you're going to do this differently.
Ryan, it's very powerful. While you were sharing this, I was thinking, well, probably we would need someone on the advisory board at 6-star, and that could be you.
Remember, I'm not allowed to say yes.
No, we have to meet 5 times first, and then it's got to flow with his 2 focus points that are in his notebook. So see, I listened.
Mm-hmm. Like it.
What's looking back on the journey so far, what's been the biggest lesson, the biggest takeaway that you've gained from everything that you've done?
Get help. Just don't. There's people out there that will help you. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but you need help. You need someone who's been there, done it before, and you need a mentor. You need 2 people. You need someone who's going to mentor you, and that can come in the form of a book. It doesn't have to be, I'm paying for this $10,000 a year mentorship program. It can be a book of a business person that you admire. Don't read that book like the rest of the world reads it. If you've already read it, read it again. Read it with a different lens on it. That's, what lessons can I take from this that help me because I like that person? Right. Literally open that book up, and on that inside page, write all of the characteristics about that person that you admire, and then look for those in the book. Look for the lessons, just like when you're listening to this podcast and you're asking some great questions and I'm giving the lessons. Do the same with the book. Listen to all the podcasts that person's on. And then find somebody who's been there, done it, and talk to them, and they will help you. That has been probably my biggest lesson. And then just remember, have fun. Just have fun with it. This is your business. This is your life. Like, just enjoy it. Have fun. Just appreciate those. When you are driving to your coffee shop that you love and you go to, just take a moment before you sip that coffee, look around and see other people stressed, running away to work or whatever they're doing, and just go, I'm going to enjoy this coffee. Yes, I might be thinking about work, but this is on my time. I get to do this. I get to choose to sit in this chair, in this coffee shop. I get to choose to wear a hoodie and shorts all day, every day. Just have fun and get help.
Ryan, that is just gold. I want to thank you so much for everything that you've shared. So much. And I know I've been watching Andrew's face and his body language too, and he's super charged by this. I love your energy. I love your authenticity and the fact that you are a naturally curious person. And that's what really, it's why you're here, because you were curious about me and the 6-Star podcast, and our first conversation was filled with laughter and mirth and jokes, but more than that, it was this aligned desire to live a more purposeful life and have curiosity and have fun, and I feel like all of that has come out in the conversation, so thank you. Andrea, do you have any last questions for Ryan?
I haven't, but is there anything else that you could add as, one of those last nuggets that we could chew on?
Yeah, so if you are thinking about building a business, you're thinking about going with it, go and get the 16-word sales letter book. Read that book, and that will give you, so we were talking earlier about your competitors. This comes up with the idea of a one belief, and you then build that one belief. Once you've done that, then go and stalk the absolute hell out of your potential customers. There's a really cool tool called SparkToro. It's a free website. You can put your competitors' social media links into, and it will pull them. It will tell you the podcasts that they listen to, the YouTube channels that they go to, the magazines they read. Go and read them. These companies have spent so much money testing the language that they use, testing what they do. So then go sign up to all of the email list, go do all of that. And then hang out where your customers hang out, and just take my curiosity. Be curious. Look at the type of questions that people are asking. Look at reviews for the product. Look at the Amazon reviews of that product, because no one gives an Amazon review like, yeah, it was great. They go, I was looking for a present for my husband. I came across this book while searching. He really likes sci-fi. This told me, I bought this for him and he absolutely loved it. The plot was amazing. It's gold. You're just looking for gold all the time. When you've got that, that will help you formulate your idea. That will help you validate your idea. And then you can go back into this podcast. And I'm not going to give it away now. You'll have to skip back or listen to the whole podcast. And then you'll get my process on how to actually scale that business. And then build an email list. Build your email list. Collect emails. Your email list is gold. Send emails, but send personal emails. Just like everyone struggles about, what do I write? Go into your messages on your iPhone or your Android. Look at how you've just spoken to your best friend, although careful sometimes, and then use that language. Talk to your people like it's a friend, okay? Go to Hemingway app website. Put your emails in there. Hemingway's amazing. It will tell you the grade of your emails or your copy. Aim for a grade 5 or below. It'll also tell you words to get out. And this isn't just me telling you this. This is Agora Financial, the biggest publishing house in the world. They've sold billions and billions of dollars of financial reports. Anything over a grade 5 has crashed and burned. Anything under has worked really, really well. And then use that. Go do that. Sell it via a Google Doc. Google Doc, PayPal link, off you go. And yeah, that will save you time. It will make you more money. It will make you more informed on your business. And with everything else that we've given you in this episode, you should be good to become a 6-star business owner and person.
Well, there we have it, folks. It is the ABC of building a 6-star business, thanks to Ryan Carruthers. And I look forward to a future episode where we go to 2.0.
I am so game for that. I would love to speak to you two again.
I've so enjoyed this. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for your energy. Thanks for everything. Indra, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. You have a cracking day, Ryan, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.